That is absolutely beautiful.
Yes, and how about you? What's new in your life?
New? Not that much new. I'm still working too much, but I'm trying to stop working a lot.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I have plans.
What kind of plans?
Maybe still too early to tell you, but still, because you know what? The problem is that we are selling time for money. We are just the trade is exchanging time for money, right?
Yeah.
That's fucking bad exchange, because time, time is given, and it's not that much. Even 90 years, I don't know, but there are billion of seconds, not more. So it's not a good deal to sell. And when you're, becoming older and older, it's really a bad deal to exchange time for money, because money you will never spend, even if you get time. Time you have less and less and less. So I was wondering that we should not. It's a bad deal selling time for money. We should sell uh, ideas or products, not time. Never sell time. Never trade time, right? So I'm great. I have another one, but I just throw it out. Hello, Bastard. Peter, hello. Let me
Oh, hello, everybody.
Hello.
let me check. Okay, so blah 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 blah. I prepared this one. This is the meeting. Last meeting. Current path. And that's it. But you can listen. Okay. Thank you, but it's better than nothing. I just posted the pad and the last meeting minute. Maybe there are some errors or not. So who is missing? Actually, a lot of us.
Etienne and Nicolas.
Nicolas probably he told that he could be in trouble. He was trying to get a plane, so maybe. But all the others said yes, as far
Etienne
as I
said
remember.
he wasn't here tonight.
Right? And Chen, yeah. But the thing is,
Jasmine.
Jasmine, Peter is here, and Jan, right?
Jasmine isn't here.
No, Jasmine and Jan are not here, right?
Yes.
Because Bastian, me, you, Cedric, and Peter are here. Okay, what should we do? Just wait 2 minutes, 1 minute, start. I would do this very unpleasant thing. I would like to start and try to finish at 10 straight without wasting time of anybody. And I would propose you, Flori, to chair the meeting, so I can secretary. What do you think?
Okay, if you want, it will be really fast.
Yeah, I know that it would be great. What do you think, guys? Okay, I saw +1 from Cedric, no answer from Bastian. Maybe he agrees, and a thumb up from Peter. So okay, Flori, the chair is yours, and I will be your secretary today. The magical headset, right?
will be really better. So, okay, can you hear me?
Yes, very, very clear and loud.
Do we have the quorum? Is there any quorum? Yes.
Is there any pardon? What?
I don't know. It is the English word for we are enough to start.
Okay. I guess the quorum. Yeah,
The quorum. Yeah. Yes.
I guess that we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right?
Yes.
So just 5/9. I think it's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there any live to start?
I saw Pirates on Air, so probably I'm pretty sure that
We don't have to launch it.
I don't know. I guess not, but maybe Bastian knows better than me.
It's
launched.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Great. So we are starting the meeting. We have to approve the agenda for to start the meeting. I think we have 6 points of agenda: registration in Luxembourg, new blockchain working group, report from the IT working group, and next on council meeting agenda. Proposal and EOB. What is EOB? I don't know.
Any other business?
Thank you. I'm sorry. So any other business and next meeting schedule. So we have the vote for approval of the agenda at line 56. Can you please vote? And the approval of the minutes of the last meeting. Alessandro sent the link in the chat. It's on the wiki. Thank you for putting it on the wiki. I think it is Bastian. English acronyms, yes. I'm sorry. And people can follow the meeting on YouTube, I think, yes. Great. So what's about the... Okay. I think just Peter doesn't vote on the minutes. And I don't know if I have to ask Bastian, why do you abstain on the minutes if you don't want to answer? Oh.
Because I'm abstaining. That's easy.
Okay, thank you. If we don't have 5 votes for the approval of the agenda, I don't know what to do.
I think that the agenda is approved if we have the majority of the present.
Okay.
Not the majority of the board. The board is valid. There is a valid meeting if we have the majority of the board, and we are 5/9, so we can proceed with this meeting. and then we will proceed normally, but we shouldn't have the majority of the not present. We can't consider not present in the majority.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Well, thank you, Alessandro. Okay, so the agenda is approved and the minutes are approved. So we can start with the registration in Luxembourg. Who have done the registration? Someone want to talk about that? Alessandro, maybe?
Yes, I asked Mikuláš, because as far as I remember, the status of art is that Mikuláš was collecting all ideas. I sent mine, and I guess everyone sent ours. But I asked Mikuláš because I was sure that he was in trouble, but still he asked to not to change the date that was that was set up in our chat, and I asked him to write down a note, but I still can't see it. So probably we have no no information. I mean, I had no information about this topic. Maybe Bastian, you have some other information about this topic, but I actually don't. I know the state of art, but
I have no news. The last news you got on the last board meeting. I think we have no new developments until now.
Okay, thank you. So can we talk about that in the next meeting of the board, maybe, because we don't have any news? I think it's the better choice to do today. Yes, okay. If someone wants to speak about that, please tell me now. If not, we are talking about the new blockchain working group. And I don't know who put this on the agenda. And hello, Jan.
Hello.
So you just come to speak about maybe the new blockchain working group. I don't know who. Okay, Cedric.
It's not me, but it's a long conversation between Alessandro, Mikuláš, about blockchain and so on. We have a long discussion in the chat on the Mastermost about that. We have some disagreement about blockchain. And we think that we need to start a whole group about it because we need to ask ourselves what are the blockchain, what are the benefits, what are the problems with it, and what's blockchain. We have for information, we have the same discussion right now in France, so it's a big thing everywhere, every time. We can see that we have some repercussion with the war in Ukraine and so on. So yes, we need to speak about it because there is a lot of things. There is some news from the European Parliament about banning by Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it's a big discussion, and we need to speak about it, but not in the board. We need to speak between all our members. So that's why we need this kind of work group.
Thank you, Cedric. Who else want to speak about this proposition of working group?
Yes, me.
Bastien?
Yeah, blockchain is helpful for some purposes, but not for every purpose. If you want to make votings about blockchain, it's a nice idea, but We have the same problem in the PPI. We try to organize a blockchain for voting and so on since, let me see, around a year. And we change the systems to another wallet and so on. It's not that easy, so it makes some easy problems very complicated. So you have to know what you're doing there. It's a good idea to have blockchain for currencies and so on, and for other technical reasons. But we have exactly to know why we need such a complicated system for using daily work. And I'm very interested here. Maybe in a short notice or a panel for that, and keen on that. And maybe we have an invitation to that new working group in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Bastian. Cédric.
I didn't know. I don't know if I want to speak more, but
You didn't ask the.
I asked and I put my hand down, but yes, because in fact I don't want to have a discussion in the board. That's why we need a work group.
Yes, thank you. But I'm going to talk about the things that we should not speak, and we should not have a debate on the useful of the blockchain in this board. I don't know. I don't think it is a good idea to debate about this today. But Bastian?
Yes, you put it on the agenda. So
I didn't do that.
A part of this agenda. And if you say we shouldn't discuss it in the board meeting, if you have this point on this item on the agenda, yeah, maybe you can explain that. Thank you.
Okay, so I don't know who put it on the agenda, but the point is to create a working group, not to debate about blockchain. It's the creation of the working group. Cédric.
In fact, you want to know who? It's Mikuláš, I, and Alessandro. So we are. If you want to step someone, this is us. And yes, that's the point. It's to create the working group to debate in it, not right now, because we need to have some more and more advice because we are an executive board, not a political one.
Thank you, Cédric. Alessandro.
Yes, the thing is, of course, I agree that we need the working group. That's the reason why we're here. Probably, I don't know, maybe we can also express or cast a vote. I don't know, but still, I'm available to participate to this working group. But it's more important, in my opinion. I second what Bastian said before. We should know what we are talking about, because it's not so easy. I mean, for let's say standard normal people, it's not easy at all to really understand what implies blockchain, what blockchain implies. That's why we have this chat and talk very I mean, fast and furious with Cédric, because it is actually political. It has a lot of political implications. For me, blockchain means freedom, means a lot of stuff. For Cédric, it also means some cons, right? But the thing is that what Bastian said is very important. We need to talk to exactly know the technical basis. Of course, because we are all pirates, we have, let's say, we all have more or less technical, let's say, background. But what I suggest is not to limit. In my opinion, we should find out. And for instance, I know a couple of guys that can participate. They're really good at it. One was also an ex-pirate from Italy, And another one is a tech guy, very also an Italian, let's say evangelist, blockchain evangelist or expert. I would like to bring this guy into the working group. I mean, at least Bastian thought about a panel or a keynote or something like this, because it also qualify, in my opinion, the discussion. Because to take any political decision and also to spread our ideas and to confront ourselves, we should know from the very expert point of view what we are talking about. That's my idea.
Thank you, Alessandro. I take some notes. You can modify it, I think.
Thank you, Florie.
Cédric.
Yes, I agree about the technical basis. In fact, it was my point about the political stuff. To take some good political decision, we need to know what we are speaking about. So there is no problem about that. My point is, this is not the right time to start the discussion about the blockchain. We need to have a lot of people with technical knowledge about it, and to take the true decision or real meaning about the blockchain, the pros, the cons. Because yes, I understand, for example, the point about freedom, but we need to understand the problem of energy consumption with proof of work, for example, about Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's why these kind of cryptocurrencies may be banned from Europe, for example. So yes, we need to have some technical stuff, not only yes, crypto are a cool thing because we can make some money, and that's how it's used for the moment in the West. So we need to discuss, but not in the board right now.
Okay, thank you, Cédric. So, do we decide about are you going to be responsible for this working group, Cédric? Alessandro, propose you.
Thank you for the gift. Why
No,
not?
it's just that because we are. I think that we can vote on, let's say, opening, but still, if we don't have any, let's say, it's not. You can call it facilitator or whatsoever. But a guy that is just
Yeah, no, there is no problem for that.
organizing meetings and the stuff.
Yes, I
have
can use a whip to operate this group.
or somebody else, But I'm because I think that also Bastian could be a great choice. But I will not propose myself, but I'm interested. I will participate, and as soon as we have an agenda, I will ask my friends to come in, or to ask you to prepare some panel with him or them. But still, I have already 2 of this working group, so it's a bit too much for me.
We will have some members who will be interested. Bastian.
Yeah, again, this item is on the agenda. As I remember, we are pirates and no one needs permission of the board to create a working group. Just do it. And then if you create a working group and have a widespread invitation for people who are interested in, it's a good idea. Then we can have, maybe we have a report of the status of that working group, and then we can think over. But it makes no sense to have that such a point on the agenda. It's just an information point, not a discussion point. And then it's a point we have to handle under AOB, so it makes sense, but not on the main agenda. So I'm just a little bit confused about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Bastian. So I remember that we had in the past create some groups in the board about the status, though. I don't remember. But I think it is a good idea to speak about that in the board in order to border the responsibilities eventually of the group, the working group about this, the cryptocurrencies and blockchain. I don't know. So what about now? What have we? What should we do with this proposition of creating a group, Alessandro?
Well, I think that we can notice that the board has, in the board we have Cedric that is spontaneously, facilitating this working group, and we are all happy to follow this working group. That's it.
Okay. So let's start speaking about this this subject, this topic in your group, in your new group. Let's create this group in maybe I think in the Mattermost you don't need any authorization to create a new group. So let's do this and just we are going to talk about the next subjects if you agree. Yes, it's okay for everybody. Nobody wants to speak about that. Okay, so my cat is attacked by another cat. Please, Alessandro, can you?
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you. I'll come back.
Okay. So we can just move on to the cat is so we can move on from the report from the IT working group. I added this point into the agenda because I saw that recently this working group has a meeting, so it would be nice to have a report also because as far as I understood, this is a very, very important working group and many other activities like, for instance, better demand or whatever are let's say, and also the asynchronous tool subject or even the second chamber. A lot of stuff is waiting for this working group. So the chair is yours, guys, and also back to Florie.
Thank you, Bastian.
Yes, thank you. As you can see on other business, that meeting was on the 9th of March, attended by some guys, and was very nice. We talk about a calendar. We need a calendar. I don't think so. We have a calendar. It's a PPI calendar. We can use it until it's there's an overflow. Anybody who is addicted to that and can have a login, it's very easy. Just ask me. Then we discussed the problem about voting software. That's the main title, I would say. And we, my point of view is that we have to vote about that we want to have such a voting software for test reason, evaluation reason, that we can see what's happening. We do that voting thing since I think, let's say, Luxembourg 2014. There we got a lot of nice ideas from the Icelandic people. Maybe you can remember Murray and his stuff, and nothing works until now. And let's try and to implement a new software for that, and waiting for that. And we need a voting today that we should do that. And we discussed, by the way, that we have a quite weak server we are using here for the Jitsi stuff. Maybe we should discuss that in the tech group again. because it's a shared server, and you know that we have some problems with the performance and so on and so on, with even with that MetaMost. So that's it from my point of view. And let's go forward. Maybe there are some comments, and then we need that voting. Thank you.
Thank you, Bastian. So who else would want to speak about this point, Alessandro? Oh, we don't hear you.
Yes, sorry.
Yes, it's okay. Yes.
Yeah, it was the fish effect. No, I didn't get the point where if we have to vote on something something here, or you have to vote in the let's say technical group which kind of software, because I missed that point. I knew that there is there is such discussion from your report, Bastian, but I didn't catch exactly what we should vote, or if we should vote on something.
Well, to make it short, if I may answer, we discussed to have it for evaluation. But I think it's not the problem what software we should use. It's a problem that we use the software for those asynchronous voting, and we need a decision that the boards want to support that. Otherwise, it makes no sense to develop such a software and so on. That's my point of view, but of think, and maybe Cedric can make some additions to that.
Thank you, Bastian. Cedric.
So yes, my addition. During the discussion about this kind of matter, we arrived to the point that a discourse might be installed, and for that we need the decision of the board to do that. I was a bit surprised because, as you said, it's for an evaluation, so why we need a decision of the council? But if we need a decision from the not from the council, from the board, and if we need a decision from the board, it's time to make this kind of decision, and we postponed the discussion about the voting system because it was not really the time for that. We need, in fact, the asynchronous discussion tools first. We speak a bit about the calendar, true. For me, the discussion is not over, but time is time, and for the moment, the discussion is about the discussion tools. And yes, we agreed about the evaluation of discourse. So if the IT team need a decision from the board to install, we vote. If not, let the installation begin.
Thank you, Cedric. Alessandro. We don't hear you.
I always forgot to unmute myself. I personally think this way. Why there is a working group on a matter? Because actually the working group, let's say, that represent those guys that are not only interested, but also has some knowledge about the topic, right? That's the main idea. So of course the board should say that, okay, we take this as the official, let's say, voting system, or the official, right, because this is our job. but it's not absolutely our job to vote on which kind of tool you want to evaluate. I think that you are free to evaluate whatever you want. Evaluate is your job. I mean, it's the task, exactly the task of the working group. We can evaluate a lot of stuff and then propose. I would expect a report from the working group. I mean, me as a board from outside. I was expecting something like this. Okay, guys. Hey, board members, look at us. We tried this. We have a problem. Let's say we're talking about this topic: asynchronous voting system, synchronous voting system, or chatting voting system, or calendar tooling. Okay, and we have this solution. We tried. We think that these are the most important, at least the best one or the worst one. Pros and cons. Here it is, the report. This is the costs and whatsoever. Everything is fine for us. Vote on it, and we say, oh, great. We read the report. We maybe ask some more things, and then we say yes, no, abstain, and that's how it works, from my point of view.
Thank you, Alessandro. Cédric.
Sorry, just trying to make my Alessandro. Sorry. Yes, you're right. Yes, and this is not all the point, but yes, you're right, and that's why I didn't understand that 2 weeks ago what we need to vote, because all we want it's an installation to make some evaluation. For me, the evaluation is done about this course, but because we used it since 5 years in France, we know that it's used in other countries. So we need to make some invitation to have some advice from users and so on. So as I said, we need to install it, and I don't understand why we need a go from the board to do that. That's all.
Bastien?
Yes, the result of that meeting with the IT group was that we asked the board, and the board should decide about using such a software for evaluation. I think it's a good idea to ask the board, and a good idea to have that maybe software, but it's not a good idea that the IT group will install that and say, hey, look at this, you can use it. I think we should ask the members or the board first. That's my point of view. Thank you.
Alessandro. Thank you, Bastien.
Now I'm not muted.
Yes, you're not.
So I propose to vote on this topic.
Okay. So maybe we can open a vote. Oh, wait. And what is the vote?
I am putting it in the minute at line 97 plus.
Yes.
I
think it's a good idea that Alessandro should explain the vote in written, and then we can vote
exactly.
on it, right?
Exactly. I'm just writing exactly what the question, and then we can vote on it.
Go on.
If it's not that clear, you can correct me. The question is very simple. Should we try to evaluate this course?
Everybody is okay with the question? Should we vote on the question?
It was the topic was that one, right?
It was discourse. Yes. I don't. Yes. Okay. So it was discourse. So the vote is open.
If you are there, Jan and Peter, you can cast your vote.
At line 98.
Great, thank you guys. Also, Cedric, you can cast your vote, huh? if you want. Yes, I like to evaluate things. Yes. So, Chair.
So I don't know. So
No,
we have three yes and 3 abstain. So it's not no. The motion is adopted. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You were waiting for Bastian, right?
No, I don't. I didn't. I just waiting for just.
Yeah, abstentions are not take into account, so that's
yes.
easy.
So it's not no.
Yeah, if you abstain, you don't count.
Don't vote. You don't vote.
You don't count. Yes.
You vote, but you don't count. Okay.
But you see, that's why, Cedric, you don't count still. But yeah, I know what you mean. I know. But you see that we need a tool for voting. So Florie doesn't need to think about the result, right?
But because we don't vote like this in France, we have another thing, another way for voting.
Okay.
Thank you for this vote. Have we another vote to have another tool? I don't know. Okay. We have a tool for that, yes. We have a tool. The tool saying to us the vote is okay. Okay. So should someone want to talk about this topic again? We have one tool for ruling everything. Okay, if nobody wants to talk about that, so we can pass on the other subject. It is the next council meeting agenda proposal. So have we something to put on this subject? I don't know. I see Alessandro. Okay.
Yeah, actually, when I write down this topic on the agenda, on the proposal agenda, of course, because we have any other business and everyone can actually propose the agenda. I'm not the one who impose any agenda to anybody, but still, because Mikuláš just rule out the calendar that we discussed and we decide last word, right? So in order to arrive to just 1 week before and do not have the agenda probably, at least not approved, but because it's easy maybe not to approve, but discuss. I think that we should start thinking about the first council meeting that is actually not so far away, right? It's about in a month or so, a month and a half or so, right?
It is done the Cedric birthday. Just remember that.
Yes, exactly. So it's a month right now.
Yes.
Less than a month. Less than a month means that we have probably one or even maybe 2 board meetings before. So just to think about the agenda, in my opinion, it was a good thing. For instance, I would like to at least try to put in the agenda this asynchronous tool, because we already tried a lot of. I mean, we saw that we need it. we saw that we needed to, when we are discussing about the Ukraine situation, we saw that we needed to, even last time that we had the board a council meeting, or even during our chat, it seems that this tool is very important. So I would put this also, I mean, to be prepared if we have something to report, and if we add this point to the agenda, we are maybe more stimulated to work on it in this month. That's my idea, but also, of course, there are many things to add to and to discuss to the next council meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Alessandro. I tried to notice, but I didn't do. Bastian.
Yes, to be honest, you can't do a council meeting on April 23rd, because you have to invite 1 month before, and this date is passed now. And I think that nobody reacts on the mail of Mikuláš he put on the table on March 14th. It's not so far from today. And if you want to make an invitation, you have to do things. First, you have to have an agenda, and then you can invite the council with the agenda. You can't say, yes, we want to make a council meeting. Maybe you get the invitation completely later or whatever. It's not impossible. So we need another date for that. It would be a pity if we do that in September, because we have a lot of developments in the world. So we should should discuss that, and maybe we should make some decisions about that, or some voting about it, whatever. But we have to postpone that that date by law or statutes. It's not possible to do that on the 23rd April as we want to. That's my point of view.
Okay, Cédric.
So, 3 weeks or maybe 1 month ago, we had the second board meetings. This was the second point of the meetings. It's about year 2022 council meetings agenda, a proposal. We proposed this date. There was no objections. Mikuláš invites us all parties. We received, for example, in PPFR, I copy paste the message that we received in our email, contact email. So this is very, very clear that there is a meeting in the 33rd and 34th of April. So we can't postpone these kind of things. And the agenda is about some missing votes, about the situation in the world. You can say anything to back up with your statutes. It's really annoying to try to go against or use it against the board every time you don't agree with something, or you are not aware. I don't know, but everybody right now in the board, in the PPEU members, period parties, they are all aware that there is a council meeting the 23rd and 24th of April. So we won't postpone this.
Thank you, Cédric. Alessandro?
Yes, thank you. I actually second what Cedric said and disagree about the Bastian interpretation of the communication that Mikuláš sent out, because actually we were discussing twice in the board. Then we set up the calendar. The calendar was actually, the calendar for the whole year was a committed a commitment that we inherited from the previous council meeting. So we fulfill the council, our council meeting requests, our members' requests, and we sort out the meeting, the calendar for all the council meeting. And we did this exactly to not to arrive to the last minute and say, oh, for one day we're just doing this out. I don't want to, I mean, think about, I mean, or judge the intention of Bastien intention, because anyone can say whatever they want. I've just noticed that I sent out this agenda a couple of weeks before, and if you disagree, Bastien, I think that of course you can, but in my opinion, the next board meeting is legally valid. I don't know if we have some, let's say, appealing or but in my opinion, this is completely valid.
Thank you, Alessandro. Thank you, Bastien.
Yeah, may I remind you on the statutes? The invitation to the council meeting has to specify date, time, place, and the draft agenda of the meeting. A link to a website with the agenda and the invitation shall be sufficient and necessary. There is no link to an agenda, there is no invitation, there is nothing. There's just the mentioning of a date. That's not an invitation. So it's easy to understand. Thank you.
Let me just thank you, Bastien. We can also send the completion of the invitation today. Cédric.
Yes, I don't want to be upset. I want to be calm, but it's very, 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 very difficult. To construct an agenda, we need some tools and we need some invitation to do that. In a way, 2 weeks ago, when we said that we can have this kind of tool, you said that you need a vote to install this kind of tool. Right now, you said that we need to have an agenda to make a good council meeting. So, in fact, I'm very, very, very upset because you want to create at the same time the chicken and the egg without from nowhere. And this is not the General Assembly of the year. This is only council meetings in the way during the year to discuss about how we work, what are the events in the world, what we need to show, to discuss right now, because everything is on the table and everything changes time to time. So it's not about change statutes, it's not about that. So why do you want to be attached to your statutes about this kind of matter and to postpone decision about having some tools to have this kind of discussion about what we can discuss about in the council meetings? I don't know how you want us to discuss with our members if we can't.
Yes, and the Article 14 of the statutes says also in urgent cases, this time may be shortened to an appropriate length. So we can also send the invitation with the agenda and all the information we have to send today or tomorrow maybe, because it is always a month before. Alessandro.
Yes, I would like to point out the same point that you already mentioned. Article 14, Bastien said that in urgent cases, this time, I guess the time was 1 month, may be shortened to an appropriate length. Appropriate is a relative adjective, not absolute. appropriate can be 1 day because it depends of the urgency, right? If there is a World War III, for instance, maybe even 30 minutes could be appropriate, right? Or if just, I don't know, Italy invades France, probably maybe also 15 minutes could be appropriate, right? I think that because of the situation, we need to absolutely to not postpone this meeting that, as Cedric points out, was already sent in very, very advance. And we can just add this official, if you want to prefer to use this term, invitation and convocation of the next council meeting in a period that is appropriately shortened, like tomorrow or even next Sunday, that will be 3 weeks before, with a complete agenda. And we are here to discuss the agenda, even if we have 3 minutes left. But we can also discuss later. I mean, it's not that important.
I think we should discuss about the agenda, but we already know what we have to put in the agenda, and I think it is an urgent case because we have a war in Europe, and I think it is not in Europe. I know it is at the door of Europe, but I think it is enough to put the meeting before, and not before, just to put this meeting on the 23rd and 24th of April. And I think we just have to maintain this meeting and to decide the agenda, or maybe just open the propositions for having an agenda in the end of the week, maybe. And also we can send this agenda to everybody, because we have already sent the invitation. So Nicolas has sent the invitation 3 or 4 weeks before. I don't remember when, because we all received this invitation. And I know that it is not, I don't know how, but we can just decide of the agenda and just go further. Bastian.
Yes, thank you. Okay, if we want to have a meeting with our members to have a discussion about urgent things, maybe the World War III or whatever, then feel free to invite them. But if you want to call a council meeting, it's a call for council who have decision rights. And if you want to have the valid decisions, we have to stick to our rules. And maybe I remind you that we have members who are very happy to address violation of rules extensively. So I think it's not a good idea to have an invalid council meeting, and then we have a discussion for the next month about violation of rules. So we decided the same with our first council meeting in this year, to postpone it. That was normally the last council meeting last year, and we have postponed it upon the same reason. So you do what you want, but I think it's a better way to stick to our rules. You can change the rules, I don't care for that, but if we have rules, we should stick to them. Otherwise we have the problem we have on every council meeting or any general meeting, that some members will make a big point to address violations, and I have I'm not keen on that discussion. I won't waste my time. So if you want to have a council meeting, do it by our rules, or if you want to have a council discussion, do that also. That's my point of view. Thank you.
Okay, I also know English, and I also have the capacity of reading English, and I also understand the statutes. And the statute says that in urgent cases, this time may be shortened to an appropriate length. So I don't want to just it is not a violation of the rules, because the rules authorize us to do that. So we should just discuss about the agenda. And if Bastian, you want to oppose or I don't know, maybe obstruct the next meeting, the next council meeting, please do that. But we are going further today, and we are discussing about the agenda for the next council meeting in 23 and 24, on 23 and 24 of April, because it has been convoked. Cédric.
Yes, you you say a bit what I want to say. That if there is some third parties that want to oppose the decision to make the meetings, they have the possibility to not attend it and to invalidate the quorum, or they can send us a complaint to say, oh, this is not how to invite a council meeting. For the moment, you are the only one to have a problem with that. And in the past, in the few weeks past, you opposed the same thing about the council members to ask their advice. You think that there is no possibility to have some advice, and we had. So we can live in the present and not to live in the maybe and what can when can be wrong because you don't agree in the board. And for me, the point, yes, maybe there is a mistake because we take the proposal into parentheses and it's no more a proposal, in fact. And yes, normally it was about the agenda and not about when and where we would have this council meeting.
Thank you, Cédric. So Alessandro is already writing a proposal of agenda for the next council meeting on line 118 and plus. And the first point should be discussion about voting system. What do we talk about in the last meeting? We just talked about a proposal, I think. No, we don't. Bastian.
Yes, to be honest, I resent the implication that I'm interfering or obstructing a meeting. I'm for the observance of rules. That's my point of view, and it's my duty as a treasurer to remind you to do, to stick to our rules. I can vote or I can not vote or can abstain or whatever. It has nothing to do. And if you want to do a chair as a neutral chair, I have to remind you that you have to do your duties. Thank you.
Okay, Bastian, please, Alessandro.
Yes, I think that it's everyone's duty, not treasurer's duty, to remind rules. First of all, then I would like to to see from your words, Bastian, where are we violating Article 14 that you have posted? If we just send out an invitation shortened than one month for the reason that we mentioned before, we consider that we can vote on it as a board because we are an executive organ. So I suggest to vote on it, to have a formal vote. I would like to have a formal vote because I consider the situation very urgent, and I consider that having an asynchronous voting tool is very urgent for PPEU, not for the board. It's for the PPEU. And I, myself, as a vice chair, I feel this my duty. So I would like to vote on it, and I would like to that this board vote on this motion. I would like to prepare this agenda, even if we have only one point, discussion about the voting system, and propose a vote on it on the next council meeting, because it's urgent. And it's urgent because of the situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Alessandro. I think also it is our duty of everybody in the board, and not just you, Bastian. You don't have the monopoly of the duty to remind us the rules. And we also all know the rules because we have a remind of the point of the statutes, and the point of the statutes isn't against the fact that we have a council meeting on the 23 of April. And we are going further on this topic, please. So thank you for not remind us again your point of view, Bastian. We all already know what you are thinking about that. So is there any other point to put on the agenda for the next council meeting, please? If there is not, we have just one point, and maybe it's enough, as you said, Alessandro.
Somebody's proposed Ukraine. I would suggest to modify, not to focus exactly on, even if it's, of course, it's a tragedy as every war in the world. But I would suggest maybe not to focus on Ukraine itself, but maybe to the political situation. Globally speaking, Ukraine is just probably a last part of the effect. Something to say about Ukraine. Okay. Sorry, yeah, sure, Jan. But first, I asked you, Chair, to vote on the board, because Bastian is pointing out that we are violating rules, and I don't think so. But I would like to vote on it. I would like this board vote on this topic. So I would like to vote on send it out this agenda within next few days, because of the urgency of the matter we are discussing. So
you want to vote on the?
I would like to vote no. Cedric,
no,
you don't
Cedric.
want. Okay. Cedric.
No vote. We take a decision last meeting.
Have a decision, yes.
We have a decision for that. Mikuláš send an invitation. I'm not here right now to say that Mikuláš was wrong. Say he's not here right now. It's on the last minute. Everybody, I need to approval of the minutes of the last meeting. Bastian is yes. So I don't care right now. I don't care. My is now the agenda. We have the point about the voting system. I second that. I propose, in fact, Ukraine, but your proposal is better about political situation in Europe, because we have a lot to discuss about that. So yes, and it's in fact, this kind of meeting is a step in the year, so it's not to be so time consuming. And reports, yes. And what are our problems, or what we want, what we want to do, and so on. So yes, and to speak about, for example, working groups.
Okay. And I think my mic is better now. So anybody want to talk about that? Okay, so Bastian remark on line 123 que that, sorry, in French. In urgent cases, this time may be shortened to an appropriate length. It is an undefined legal term that we have inserted into the statutes meeting for vital meeting to remain actionable. Okay, so I just want to say, Bastian, that it is in the statutes. Even if it is, it was added in the statutes for another thing, it is in the statutes, so we can use it, and we should respect this point in the statute, and we are respecting this point in the statute. So Alessandro remarks that it's not important why we have this in the statutes yet. I also remark it. Thank you, Alessandro. So let's vote on the agenda. The proposal is, the first point is discussion. You can also write my remark if you want. Discussion about voting system asynchronous tool. And the point 2 is political situation in Europe. And the point 3 is report from the board. And the point 4 is all other business, you know, I remind. So we can open. Thank you, Cedric, for this remark. There are too many remarks in this topic. That is next CM agenda. Cedric.
Yes, because we are only 5 people. One of us is right now away from keyboard. Maybe, just maybe, and because I love asynchronous work, I think that we should open a window until Saturday, so in 2 days, to have some advice from other people like Mikuláš, Etienne, and yes, Yasmin, to say something about what they think we might add to the agenda.
So you are saying that we should let this vote open for 2 days in a asynchronous way?
Yes.
Yes, okay, d'accord, okay. What do you think about that, guys? Because
just 2 days.
2 days.
Not more. 2 days.
You can just vote for this point 2 days. Alessandro, Bastian.
Yeah, do we have that procedure in our roles that we have, so to say, synchronous votes? I think we have to vote in a meeting, not extern of the meeting. But maybe I'm wrong. We have to look into our rules of procedure. But maybe you don't stick to them. I have no idea.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
We have rules of procedure.
Yes,
for
I know
board
we have rules of procedure,
and we
but
have no rule for asynchronous meetings there. Postal votes. And if you have the rule for postal votes, please show me. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm not sure to understand what you said before. Alessandro, just I want to say something just before to let you speak. I'm sorry, I'm just... if there is not anything about the way we have to vote on the meeting of the board, I think we can let us the right to vote in 2 days instead of voting today in an asynchronous way for having the advice of the members of the board who aren't here today. Alessandro, please.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to. I think we don't have this procedure. I would like to have this procedure, but I think we don't have. I second Cedric and Euphoria. It would be lovely to have this, but that's why I think this remarks to have another remark, Cedric. This remarks that we need such a tool not only in our board, but we need such a tool also for our council members, and that's why I would prefer to vote on it right now, because we have any other business. So if there is something that comes out magically from our members, we have this point in this meeting, in the agenda of this meeting, right? So everyone knows, everyone who is not here knows that we will be discussing today the agenda of the next board meeting, including Bastian, that points out that we are late, including us, that we are pointing out that we are not late, right? So if they are missing, they are missing. I know that it would be great to have their contribution, but they're missing. And we should vote on it right now. And then for the future, in the next agenda, we can add this topic. Asynchronous tool for board meetings too, right? The changes of our rule of procedure. But it's 22
17 past 22.
17, and I would like to vote on this agenda and then send the agenda to everyone straight tomorrow. Right?
Thank you, Alessandro. Cédric.
Yes, because I can argue with the same arguments. We, as a board, can make some decision, and we can take the decision to postpone our decision to 2 days, because we can vote. It seems that the solution is always to vote to have a solution to our problems. So yes, we can. I won't go in this way. You want a decision tonight? Okay. I only want to have more people involved. That's the difference. I understand your point. So go on and let's go. We have.
Okay, I think, Cédric, we understand your point too. And this is noticed in the minutes, thanks to Alessandro. So we can speak about that on the next board meeting, and we will speak about that on the next board meeting, and we will speak about that on the next council meeting, because we have this on the agenda, on the proposal of the agenda, and we are voting on the agenda now and not in 2 days, but now. So please proceed to the vote. It's okay for everybody? Everybody is okay with the vote? Yes.
Well,
We should-
there's in line 131 is the floor is not opening the vote, and we voting now or whatever.
I am opening the votes. Yes, I'm opening the vote. Is now opening the vote. Thank you.
I know, yeah, I'm not, it was my mistake. Sorry.
Yes.
It's now opening the vote. Yeah,
I'm opening the vote.
Stop writing, Cedric, and vote. Oh, if you want, of course. We're pirates. We're not obliging anyone.
Thank you, Peter, for correcting the no. Cedric, can you please vote normally, please?
Absolutely, it's not a valid vote. But you can vote for Maradona, Diego Armando. Was a good player.
This is, again, we are waiting for Jan.
Jan, are you there or with the potato?
Yeah. So we can also wait, but I think that
You're back. You're back.
Jan,
you're back. So we are voting now to the next council meeting agenda on line 133 plus.
Jan,
so voting yes. Voting yes means postponing the vote.
No, we didn't. Cedric just withdrew the proposal of postponing the vote on the agenda. We are now voting on the agenda, on the proposal of the agenda. And the agenda is at line 118 plus. The proposal for the next agenda, for the board next council meeting agenda is there.
So for the moment, we are voting on the next agenda for the next council meeting, and we still have this next council meeting on 23 and 24th of April. Bastian.
Yes, that means that we have another voting about the content of this agenda. The vote now is vote on the next CM agendas. That means that we vote that we have to vote about the next agenda, and then is implement that we have to vote on the next point, that we vote on that proposal in line 118 until 121, that we accept that. That's the right procedure.
You're trying to losing me, Bastian. Cédric.
No.
Yes, you are trying to losing me, Bastian.
No.
It's not your turn to speak. Cédric, please.
When I vote on this vote, I vote yes about the point 1, 2, 3, and 4 that was exposed on line 116 to line 121, and that's what I vote on.
Yes,
not
it is
on the next agenda of the September council meeting. So maybe
we can also just restart the vote and just notice in the label, I don't remember the name of the vote, that we are voting on the next TM agenda for the we are voting on the proposal of the agenda for the next council meeting on the 23 and the 24th of April, if you want. But we are not voting on a vote that we have to vote for voting on a vote. It's not this way we are proceeding. It's not possible to do that. I don't know where you are listen to this kind of vote. So thank you, Alessandro.
Yes, I maybe my English is bad, but at line 133, it's vote on the next council meeting agenda. So we are now voting not for postponing or not, so we are voting for the next council meeting agenda.
Yes.
As you can see, next council meeting agenda proposal is point 1, 2, 3, 4. Discussion about voting system, political situation in Europe, reports from the board, and any other business. That's what we are voting for. It was
agree.
on this agenda, and we are voting on this. If you agree with this proposal for the next council meeting agenda, vote yes. If you don't agree, vote no. If you want abstain, won't abstain.
Thank you, Alessandro.
You're welcome.
I think we all understand that.
Jan is the only one missing. Maybe he didn't understand, or you did, Jan.
I did follow the discussion, like, let's say half and half, but yeah, I mean, so the proposal of Cedric to have other board members vote in asynchronous way, meaning like they would maybe cast their vote on Mattermost, was not accepted, or
we didn't vote on that. We just decide to not speak about that more and to speak about that in the next council meeting and in the next board meetings. Withdraw.
It was withdrawn by Cedric that made a lot of mess.
Yes. So Jan, you are okay. You had vote for the next council meeting agenda, and Peter, you also understand that. It's just Bastian who don't understand.
I'm totally fine. Everything, follow everything, perfectly clear, agree with everything, and surrender to everything.
Okay, so we can go further, please. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, everybody. So the next council meeting agenda has been approved. So we can just go further, please. Is there any other business? No? Why did you say no? No. You admit everything, okay. So is there any other business, please? Someone want to talk? I think that Jan wanted to talk about something. It was before on the last point, or it is on this point?
Yes, Jan, you were. Yeah, I think that Jan wanted to talk about something.
No, I just wanted to have just the ordinary board member report, which I'm not sure if the last time we did it but at least previous board it was usual for every member to have a short report. But I guess it's already 11:30, so I guess I might also postpone it till the next board meeting because there isn't that much to report anyways. Huh?
11:10. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's 10:30.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, Petra also has to leave, so that would leave us at.
We didn't have any reports.
I think that would leave us at 6 members. So yeah, I guess I could postpone it till next time. No,
Yes,
it's
we can.
huh?
Go further, please.
No, I could postpone it until next time, so there might be more stuff to report. Because basically the what I did the last board and what I would want to do at this board is the whole let's say party registration and party expansion. Well, expansion, accepting new members, but this is most of this work done there is now done by not Mikuláš, but because Mikuláš outsourced this to some of his staff members because I think he made somewhere he was able to make the rationale that it's actually connected to his MEP work, so he can have his paid staff members do all the really boring stuff of just writing emails to dozens of people. So I guess when he's not here, it's not so useful to discuss this because he probably also has something to say to this. But I was also emailing some people from MKKP. So far this is the only non-pirate observer member we have, and I haven't really done anything in this regard for let's say since the last council meeting. So I wrote to Gabor, the guy who was at the council meeting, and also some others, and I invited them to join Mattermost, so we can have some joint. We can also have a joint, but I meant we can have a joint channel there between the pirates and MKKP because their elections are close by. I think it's 2 months or a month and a half. So yeah, if they happen to have any ideas of where we can make some small contributions, that would be nice if we know it in time.
Okay. Thank you, Jan. Bastian?
Oh yes, I'm a little bit confused because somebody write down in line 141 no under the item or the agenda item AOB. I think I don't know why the board reports were taken off of the agenda, but we can deal it under AOB. But no fears. I'm putting my report on the minutes only, so have a good night. Bye.
Okay. So anybody want to speak about any other business? If you want to make reports on the minutes, you can just write it like Bastian do it. If you don't, we can speak about that on the next board meeting because it is already 22:30, 10:30, and I want to stop this meeting soon because I have another meeting after this meeting and it is already starts. So can we close this point and go on the next point, please? Or do someone else want to talk about something else? If you don't raise your hand, I will consider that you won't. Yes, I know. The next point is the next meeting date.
So there is basically no other points because actually.
Yes, I know.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. I want just to know if anybody wants to speak about something else. And if it is not the case, we can speak about the next report on the next board about what I want to do. Okay, thank you, Cedric. And speak about the next point, that is the next meeting, scheduling the next meeting. So what is the next date of the next meeting? I don't know. Surprise. I don't know.
We can do it like we did twice or three times. I mean, if you want to decide right now, we can, or we can decide in our MetaMask chat.
It's my duty to decide this next. No, it's not.
No,
okay,
not
you.
your duty. I mean, maybe our duty.
Our duty. Okay. So what about Cedric? You said that the week of the 15 of April, we should have a next board meeting before the next council meeting, I think.
So 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks, from now.
Yeah,
yes, 3 weeks from now. Yes, the 11th, the week of 11th to 15. It's 3 weeks. Yes.
In my point of view, if you want 3 weeks, it's about the 11 to 15 weeks, 11 to 50, the week of April. If you want 2 weeks, it's the week before.
Yes, it is logical.
Yeah, you're right, but I think that because we are only 5 over 9, maybe it's better to ask all the others. Otherwise, we decide for us. So it's better, in my opinion, to do it in an asynchronous way.
You want to take a decision
in
outside
an
the board?
asynchronous way?
You're kidding!
Are you crazy? It's not the procedure.
I can totally agree on your point.
Thank you, guys. So we have a proposition for the